you don't change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we gonna have. You don't need money, you got free pass. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all. 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 May you be as fascinating as a slap bracelet. May you keep the chaos and the clutter off your desk. May you have unquestionable health and less stress. Having no possessions, though immeasurable wealth. May you get a gold star on your next test. May your educated guesses always be correct. And may you win prizes shining like diamonds. May you really own it each moment to the next. Or may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Whoa. Or may the road less paved be the road that you follow. Whoa. Well, here's to the hearts that you gon' break. Here's to the lives that you gon' change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we gon' have. You don't need money, you got free pass. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all. 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 Oh, I want you to have it all you can imagine. Oh, no matter what your path is, if you believe it, then anything can happen. Go, 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 raise your glasses. Go, 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 you can have it all. I told you, here's to the hearts that you gon' break. Here's to the lives that you gon' change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we gon' have. You don't need money, you got free pass. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all. 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 I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we gon' have. Here's to the always making me laugh. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all. May you have auspiciousness and causes of success. May you have the confidence to always do your best. May you take no effort in your being generous. Sharing what you can, nothing more, nothing less. May you know the meaning of the word happiness. May you always lead from the beating in your chest. May you be treated like an esteemed guest. May you get to rest, may you catch your breath. Or may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Whoa. Or may the road less paved be the road that you follow. Oh. Well, here's to the hearts that you gon' break. Here's to the lives that you gon' change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we gon' have. You don't need money, you got free pass. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all. 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 May you be as fascinating as a slap bracelet. May you keep the chaos and the clutter off your desk. May you have unquestionable health and less stress. Having no possessions, though immeasurable wealth. May you get a gold star on your next test. May your educated guesses always be correct. And may you win prizes shining like diamonds. May you really own it each moment to the next. Or may the best of your today.
Hello, everybody. Lovely to see you all. Oh, look, lots of people there already. Good to hear that lots of you like this book. Brilliant. Hello, Alba in Foxes. Hello, Henry. Okay, so this is our story for today. Our story. So why did I choose it? Because normally you get the choice, and I'm sorry about that, because today you haven't got the choice. Just adjusting it, making sure everybody can see. I haven't got the choice, and why is that? Well, I just thought, I think sometimes it's lovely to be able to have a really good classic favourite that lots of us know already, and lots of us love, and I love it. Okay, so it's one of my favourites, and it's one of my favourite authors. Can you see who the author is? So the author is Julia Donaldson, and Axel Schaefer was the guy that did all the illustrations, and he's brilliant at illustrations. So who else have we got? Okay, we've got Cheyenne. Okay, hello from Cheyenne. Anybody else going to say hello? Oh, we've got a few people there. Lovely. So it's really good to reread stuff, and I know some of you at home are probably getting a little bit fidgety because you're thinking to yourself, do you know what? I've read this book, but choose those old favourites. Sometimes they might be on a bookshelf that you haven't had out for a while. Just go and just choose them and just think, okay, this is an old familiar favourite, and it's lovely to have. Now, I know year one especially know this book really well because you've been doing this book and you've been studying this book in your learning this year. So this is especially for some of year one, but for all you guys as well. Now, I'm rereading a story at the moment, and the story that I'm reading is Harry Potter. Has anyone heard of Harry Potter? And it's quite a familiar story, so hopefully you have. Okay, so Harry Potter, and I'm on the 4th book at the moment, okay, but I'm rereading that because it's one of my favourites. Okay, so we start a new book or we start an old book, it's always good to look at the blurb. Okay, so have you been looking at the blurb at home? Because that's brilliant. If you have, and if you haven't, then don't forget, because it tells you lots about the book. So the blurb has part of the passage of the book, and then it's got some other relevant information as well. And here, often on the back, on the blurb, underneath, you'll find things about the book and comments that people make. And now one of the things that I might say about this is that it's one of my firm favourites. Bit of alliteration there. Okay, but the Times, a very important newspaper, said it was bold and brilliant, wise and wacky. So they've used a bit of alliteration too. Anyway, let's get started. The Snail and the Whale. Okay. So, this is a tale of a tiny snail and a great big grey-blue humpback whale. This is a rock as black as soot, and this is a snail with an itchy foot. Can a snail have an itchy foot? Oh, I think it has, hasn't it? The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock. And as she gazed, she sniffed and sighed. The sea is deep and the world is wide. How I long to sail, said the tiny snail. These are the other snails in the flock, who all stuck tight to the smooth black rock, and said to the snail with the itchy foot, "Be quiet, don't wriggle, sit still, stay put." But the tiny sea snail sighed and sniffed, then cried, "I've got it, I'll hitch a lift." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail that looped and curled and said, "Lift wanted around the world." Oh, around the world. Now that would be nice, wouldn't it? Especially at the moment. This is the whale who came one night when the tide was high and the stars were bright, a humpback whale, immensely long, who sang to the snail a wonderful song of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves. And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He held it out of the starlit sea and said to the snail, "Come sail with me." This is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on its tail to towering icebergs and far off lands, with fiery mountains and golden sands. That's a really pretty page, isn't it? Can you see the sand on there? It looks great, doesn't it? These are the waves that arched and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed. The tiny snail on the tail of the whale. Look, very tiny snail on the tail of the whale. These are the caves beneath the waves, where stripy fish with feathery fins and shark with hideous, toothy grins swam around the whale and the snail on his tail. This is the sky, so vast and high, sometimes sunny and blue and warm, sometimes filled with a thunderstorm, with zigzag lightning, flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. Look, we've got another vast picture here. The bear. And she gazed at the sky, the sea, the land, the waves and the caves and the golden sand. She gazed and gazed, amazed by it all. And she said to the whale, I feel so small. And look, even the word looks really small. Hang on, let's see. Okay, got all the words here, and they've made the word really small. You've done that in your writing before, haven't you, in year 1 and in year 2? But then came the day. The whale lost his way. These are the speedboats running a race, zigging and zooming all over the place, upsetting the whale with their ear-splitting roar, making him swim too close to the shore. Look, that's looking a bit scary. This is the tide slipping away. And this is the whale lying beached in a bay. Quick, off the sand, back to sea, cried the snail. I can't move on land, I'm too big, moaned the whale. The snail felt helpless and terribly small. Then, I've got it, she cried, and started to crawl. I must not fail, said the tiny snail. I wonder what the snail's going to do. Can you remember? Oh, look. This is the bell on the school in the bay, ringing the children in from their play. Oh, this is the teacher holding her chalk, telling the class, sit straight, don't talk. This is the board, as black as soot, and this is the snail with the itchy foot. A snail, the teacher turns pale. Look, said the children, it's leaving a trail. This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail saying, save the whale. Oh, I wonder if he's going to get saved. I hope he just gets saved because he's beached on the bay. Oh, look, got the children running. They're looking like they're going to help. Let's hope they do. These are the children running from school, fetching the fireman, digging a pool, squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. Right, so you've got the farm here. You've got a special digger to try and dig out the sand, and you've got all of these people trying to help. They really are koalas of kindness, aren't they? So let's see. This is the tide coming into the bay, and these are the villagers shouting, "Hooray!" Look, they're all shouting as the whale and the snail travel safely away. Brilliant. It looks like that whale's been saved. They're all cheering and waving. And look, someone's videoing it there. Do you think it's going to be on the news? I think it would be on the news, wouldn't it? Back to the dock and the flock on the rock, who said, "How time's flown, and haven't you grown?" And the snail and the whale told their wonderful tale of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves, and of how the snail, so small and frail, with her looping, curling, silvery trail, saved the life of the humpback whale. Then the humpback whale held out his tail, and on crawled snail after snail after snail. Look, so many of them. Should we count how many there are on the tail? Okay, let's see if we can count them together. We've got 1, 2, 3. Oh, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 on the tail of the whale. And then what happened after that? Look, they all went off and they sang to the sea as they all set sail on the tail of the grey-blue humpback whale. So do you think you'd be brave enough to be able to go on the tail of a whale? I don't know whether I would be. And look, I've got a bird here, not quite sure whether to join in or not. And a bird down here as well, one of the seagulls. And there we go. Our book is finished. So that was a brilliant story, and that's one of my favourite stories because it's by one of my favourite authors, Julia Donaldson, because I think she's amazing. And she tells her stories in what we call rhyming couplets. Now, rhyming couplets are when you have two words at the end of each line. You've got two lines, line 1 and line 2, and line 1 at end of the word and line 2 end of the word rhyme. Okay, and lots of authors use this technique, and I wonder whether those authors become poets, because actually you're telling a story and it's poetry as well. So, bit of a challenge for you. Okay, don't have to do it as ever. You can do it if you want to, but you don't have to do it. But what you could do is you could try to write a rhyming couplet about one of our Pashley values. So as you can see at the top here, we've got some of our Pashley values at the top, but we've got some of our other Pashley values as well. Should we just go through them, see if you can remember? So we have got the koala of kindness. Okay, say hello to the koala of kindness, giving you a wave. Could you do a rhyming couplet about the koala of kindness? Make it into a little story maybe? Who knows? We have got the penguin of perseverance. And I know a lot of you have been persevering at home with your learning. So maybe you could do a tale about the penguin of perseverance. Who else have we got down here? Oh, yeah, the equality elephant wants to come up and say hello. He's just as important as everybody else because everybody is equal. So could the equality of elephant have a rhyming couplet made up about him? I think you'd enjoy that. What do you think? Who else? Who else would you like to see? Our newest Pashley value, the raccoon of resilience. Very cheeky, the raccoon. Okay, but always tries extra hard in tricky situations to try and get through. Oh, we've got a few of those. We've got Amelie in squirrels. Hello to Oscar in badgers. Hello, Kit from hedgehogs, and Jessica in squirrels. Okay. Panda at the moment, the panda positivity, very important for us all to try and help us get through this tricky time at the moment. Sometimes when we want to be outside and we've got to be inside, panda positivity finds something else to do. Could you write a rhyming couplet about the panda positivity? Oh, the rhino of responsibility. Yes, the rhino of responsibility. I think some of the people could come up with some rhyming couplets. And then finally, I'm just going to check, have I done them all? I think there's one thing. Which one could be missing? Anybody know which one's missing? We've had the koala. We've had the penguin. We've had the rhino. The panda. The resilience raccoon. The equality elephant. I don't know who's missing. Who is missing? Who could it be? Could it be? It's the honesty otter. Honesty otter. Always important to be honest. Always important to tell the truth. Yeah. So the honesty otter, could you do a rhyming couplet about him maybe? Or maybe even draw some pictures of our Pashy values. That would be lovely as well. So got a few more hellos to do before I go. So hello to Amelie and Alyssa. Hello to Marco. Hello to Ziggy. Okay. Who else have we got? Hello to Freddie. Hi, Freddie in Rabbit's class. So lots and lots of people are tuning in. That is the end of the story for today. But you have got Mrs. Lewis on Thursday. Does anyone remember what Mrs. Lewis is going to be doing? She's going to be making Play-Doh. Now, I do not know how to make Play-Doh, so I might be tuning in myself. Hello to Stanley. Hello to Rex. Hello to Alaska. Hello to Bethany. Lots and lots of people saying hello now, which is lovely. So on Thursday this week, Mrs. Lewis will be sharing with you and showing you hopefully how to make Play-Doh. I'm going to be joining in as well from Pash, from my list, and I won't get it too messy, otherwise I'm going to get into trouble with Mr. Gill. We don't want to be in trouble with Mr. Gill, do we? Because he is the kindest caretaker in all the land. Anyway, so it's bye from me. Have a wonderful rest of the week. We all miss you, but we will see you soon. Bye.